Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we are looking at Doctor Strange issue 3, Legacy number 393. This is written by Mark Waid with art by Jesus Saez, letters by VC's Joe Sabino. Cover art was Jesus Saez. Editor was Nick Lowe. Assistant editor Kathleen Wineski. Alright, so this time we get a little recap of what's been going on up till this issue from last issue. So apparently Doctor Strange and this woman Kenna have been going around to different planets, learning from ancient masters and finding ancient artifacts and enchantments, and occasionally selling them and trading them for fuel. Well, they land on this planet that is apparently inhabited by Skrulls, and Doctor Strange is like, Skrulls? But they kill humans. And she's like, nah, we're cool. As they walk across the planet, they pass by several Skrulls on their way to meet the uncle of one of her ex-boyfriends, and there's of course a crude sex joke about how he could shapeshift certain parts of his body, and Doctor Strange has some like transgenderism stuff or gender issues foisted upon us because he talks about how do they define identity and about how they transform themselves and they can be whatever they want to be and they're accepted and it's not some forced confinement in some unchosen birth form. That's a quote. Yeah, well, we're not shapeshifters, buddy. Sorry, Mark Waid. Then we get to the main story where Doctor Strange sees that this guy they're meeting has an Infinity Stone, and of course it's the Time Stone, which he's familiar with from the movies. Couldn't be any of the others. No, it had to be that one. Well, it turns out that the person who's having this wizard look at the stone is actually the Super Skrull, and Doctor Strange's plan is to just run in there and steal it, and he promises the girl that if she helps him, she can have the stone. So he runs out there, and they get in a big fight. He manages to get a hold of the stone, and they get out of there. His idea is to lock the stone away, and she's like, no, it's mine, you said so. And then he just makes her forget. So he's no better than any of the villains, because he wipes her mind, because she trusted him up till that point, and then he betrays her and wipes her mind of the memory of it like a supervillain would. As usual, Marvel is resorting to forcing people to do what they want, just like Riri conquering all of Latveria and Jean Grey wiping people's minds and reading them without permission and turning Bobby gay. This is just more superhero, supervillain gray lining where sides are interchangeable and the ends justify the means. I have to say this issue could have been really good, but it lost me with a few points. Doctor Strange resolving the situation the way he did I thought was pretty evil. So I didn't much care for this issue. Paper quality is still garbage. The ink still comes off on my fingers, and the story was fairly tepid with some rather ham-fisted messaging. I didn't much care for it. I thought the story could have been really good, but it was a miss for me. So that's just my take on it. As always, thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing so you don't miss future reviews. And if you want to help the channel out, Patreon link is in the description and on the About page. And as always, thanks for listening.